We are rolling. Well, if we're going to roll, let's slap. What's this slapping number this week?
This is episode number 322.
We're getting up there, man. I watched a couple of podcasts recently, and it seems like what people are as shocked, I think, as we are, especially me, are as shocked when when the numbers start creeping up there. They're like, "Wow, we're still doing this shit, huh?" So we're we're definitely not alone in that boat. It has become a lot more fun recently, I will say. In the last couple of years, this is SlapperCast has become a lot more fun, and it's really interesting to come across the people at the festivals and the gigs and the just in general, family, friends talking about their interactions with this. They'll watch it and they'll pick up on certain aspects of it, and they'll be drawn to certain things and ask questions about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm still in hot pursuit of getting a young lady in Ireland on the podcast. Her name is Anne Devlin. She's closely related to me. I'm calling it Operation Hot Mom, which that is actually not stolen from Arrested Development. I wish I could claim it. It's not. I am in hot pursuit of getting her on the show. I'm very curious about what kind of drugs she was on when she was pregnant with me, why she didn't stop drinking or shooting up, or I just want to see why her lifestyle didn't change at all when she was pregnant with me. But anyway, back to the SlapperCast thing. We've done 322 episodes of this, and we still can't coordinate a time to. We can't schedule it. We can't schedule a time to do it weekly. We want to do it at the same time every week, so we get a chance to edit it and put it. It just doesn't happen. Our schedules are nuts. No matter what we do, it's always 20 things in there. It's always slicing and dicing and jumping and driving, just trying anything to get into this habit. So
yeah,
and I think that's a musician / artist / creative person's thing. Would you agree? This is it's just the term herding cats comes to mind when you talk about, let's put this time down and we'll schedule it. Is that a regular thing? Am I alone in thinking that?
I think it probably has something to do with the fact that you and I, Patrick, in particular, don't work in an office as part of it. But we're not. It's not just the SlapperCast scheduling. It's everything else in our lives that winds up getting, we'll do it as soon as we can, type of thing. So there's a lot of things ping ponging around. I know, but Turbo, I know, because he does work in an office, but he's got a million things going on as well. So I don't know. I know it was a hell of a lot easier during the pandemic. There was literally nothing else going on. So we did do it, I think, every Thursday morning for a while back in those days. But I was just going to add too, when you're talking about how amazing it is, we're up to number 322. I was just remembering back when we had Paul Beebe on the show. He's only been on the show once. It was like really early days of the podcast, and it was like episode 30 or 31 or something like that. And I remember we slated the number at the top, and Paul goes, 30? Oh wow. Because it was just at that point, it was amazing that we gotten that far. So, and here we are at 322, and it is pretty mind blowing when you stop and think about it.
I have to say as well, today, which is obviously Slapper Day 322, but the actual recording day, it is Paul Beebe's birthday today. It's funny you bring that up. So happy birthday, Paul Beebe. Paul Beebe is, of course, the man behind the board on Blaggards, and also a neighbor and friend. And but he's a true talent, a Houston legend, if you will, incredible musician, incredible sound engineer. Like I said, good friend. So now belated happy birthday, Paul Beebe. But on the day, just know that you got a text from me saying happy birthday from Blaggards. So there you go. Sorry, Turbo, I cut you off. So would you agree on that assessment of the creative mind? I mean, of course, you are the red carpet man. And I don't mean that as, I could have 1,000 places I can go with that. I'm not going to go there. But you take care. I mean, you really do. You take care of so many people. You help so many people, and you're the Mother Teresa of of the corporate world and the music world. But would you agree to that the scheduling thing, is would that lean more towards the artistic, creative, or is that just? I mean, would you just fire them? What's your take?
I think the artistic side does have some of it, but like for me, I still have kids that are a little bit younger, so that's where it ties into. For me, it's so we do pretty good at managing it. I think overall with my schedule, I think it's managed pretty well for I don't know as many people who'd be able to keep up, but like I always tell everybody, if some things are only 99% commitment because at a moment's notice a kid could go sideways, right? Something could happen. Now, I'm extremely grateful that I have a, amazing wife who helps me with that, so my schedule doesn't get as disrupted. So, but man, if I didn't have that, I'd have to have 15 girlfriends because of what she does. So, but I think at the beginning for me, sometimes the work can get in the way, but and now that's not as big of a deal for me.
Hey, speaking of 15 girlfriends, I have to say the reason why Romeo is not on the podcast today is because he's heading north again to go south, if you know what I mean, ladies. He's missing today, but he will be with. Unfortunately, this episode won't go out until we're done. We've committed. We have made a bond of blood that we're going to make last Saturdays at Molly's in Conroe. We're gonna make this the dirtiest, filthiest, nastiest Blaggard show that we've ever done. Why would I say that? That's just how we're feeling right now. So hopefully we'll have some footage. I guess we can chuck in of that.
You've all got to come over to the corner at some point tonight, preferably not all at once, because that's going to look like Chad's bedroom if everybody gets in a small space at one time and starts sweating and rubbing against each other and the disco lights go. Anyway, but you must come over and see Turbo because we put him in the corner because his wife asked me to. But she didn't say you can't gawk. Anyway.
People that know Blaggards, maybe they've even been along on 322 SlapperCasts, but you'll know that there are 20 Molly's pubs at least in the greater Houston area. Well, actually, I can't say Houston, but it's as far as Conroe and as far south as Galveston. But they've got 20 pubs, and we've been lucky enough to play at most of them. Back in the early days, Eamon and Mike, the owners, would put us on Molly's tours, and we would play all the Molly's, every Friday, Saturday night. It was brilliant. But Molly's Conroe and Chad, help me out with this. Molly's Conroe, Molly McGuire's, Old City Pub. They're probably and Kingwood, of course. Kingwood, always Kingwood. I would have to go Kingwood number 1, McGuire's number 2, Conroe 3, Old City Pub 4. Would you agree with that rating?
Yeah, currently for sure. I mean, there are other places. I mean, I loved Molly's downtown as well, but that was unfortunately that's no longer open.
Broken heart.
But that was a great location. Once you got into the pub, once we got our gear into the pub, it was great. Loading in and loading out was hellacious. Literally, I think the worst load in we've ever had to deal with.
Turbo, have you ever played Molly's downtown with us?
I don't think so. What's the one we play where we play outside? We've played there a couple times. Is that Molly McGuire's down there? No.
Molly's is always inside.
Oh, maybe it's
Molly McGuire's is, yeah. The only Molly's I think where we played outside, which I don't think was with you, was the Woodlands location. They have a really big patio there.
Yeah.
I don't recall. We wanted to play outside at Old City Pub, but we've never actually done that there. They have a big patio on the front too.
So Turbo, what's your favorite Molly's? Obviously, the one that we played outside was one that you were high for.
Yeah, that must be a different place, but it's I like the I think Kingwood's my favorite, and then I think some of the shows we've had at Conroe I've liked, but there was the one we played in Galveston or kind of down there where we kind of had to like tuck in the corner and
Murphy's. Yeah.
Murphy's. That one was fun. I just remember really enjoying that show. I was like, man, this was fun. And, I mean, it was chill, but that one I liked too. It's kind of like old school. You just put the band in the corner and let's turn it up and go. But so there's just something about those that are still dear to me. So,
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about Molly's is they don't do music all the time. They're neighborhood pubs. They're true neighborhood pubs, and that's their charm. I guess Tomball would be the only one that had. And for our friends living across the sea or out of Texas, yes, there is a place called Tomball, and it's exactly what you would think. Whatever you think of that, whatever that name conjures up, that's what it is. But Tomball is the only one that they actually went and they did a kind of new pub feel, meaning it's very modern. It's just not like your other Molly's or Murphy's or Old City Pub, blah blah blah. But their charm is the local pub feel, and they don't have live music all the time. But when they do, they don't charge a cover. They don't charge a cover for like they're not going to show the big heavyweight fight or the UFC champion, whatever it is that they have to charge, because they don't want to do that. It's a neighborhood pub. Your devotion to their pub equals their commitment to you to give you these wonderful people. Of course, Anne Bredding, the Jeff over in Kingwood, Nicole and Conroe, all these wonderful managers that know your name, they know your drink, they know if you're Romeo showing up with date number 4 on a Saturday night, they're not going to, they know better than to go, hey, weren't you in here or something? They're just, it's a true neighborhood pub, and there's TVs everywhere. But it's when you do get to play in there, you get to throw down, and it's not I mean, of course, they don't want thrash metal bands in there. They're going to kick all the regulars out. I remember touring one of the pubs with, I say tour, he was just kind of show me the layout of one of these pubs. I've talked about him 1,000 times on this podcast, but he walked me around the pub and he showed me where people, they come in here, they go here, this bar here, and he just showed me the layout. It was genius the way that these bars are laid out. I really respect and admire how Molly's keeps that Irish pub feel in every place that they go,
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to remember which ones we haven't played. I think there's only maybe 2.
Yeah, there's the stage door in Galveston, which is up the street from, but it's places that have literally enough room for 20, 30 people at the bar. There's just no space for a band. There's no space for a solo acoustic. There's no space for any of that. So
I got a kid question. So this is off topic, if that's all right. Last night at the art show, we noticed this is, every year, because Miles, he has the art show, and so has his presentations. I mean, it's normally with the art and the things that are getting celebrated. And
who is Miles? Could you tell us, please?
Miles is my son. So he, sorry, I just assumed, but he's 12. He's turning 13 this year, and this was the first year where he's like, I don't want to take pictures. He's starting to push away from mom and dad, and I'm just watching him grow up. I'm watching Stacy, my wife, could just start to go the other direction. I could see her suffering a little bit, and I'm like, what age? So I was like, man, I gotta ask Boss Man, like, what age was it when they start to do that? Because I have older boys that have already done that, but we always had one who was there. And now we're starting to, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like my youngest is going to be a teenager, and here we go, So I told Stacy last night, she goes, oh, he's the only one that gets excited. So, then we go to dinner after, and we're doing the whole family thing, and then we get home, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. And I just, no, I'm like, I'm going to be that. So, but I was curious if that happened to you, Patty, what age was that?
Well, it's funny, and just if there's any new viewers or listeners to SlapperCast, especially episode 322, the reason why he didn't ask Chad that is because Chad's like Elon Musk. He's got kids everywhere, and he doesn't know any of their names, and he doesn't know where they are. So that's why he's asking me. So I'll take that question. Thank you, Turbo. But actually, if you look closely, there's one there's one just ran behind Chad there. He didn't even see it. Anyway, so and that's funny. It's funny you say that, because my daughter is now 21 and my son is 26, and I never really had that. I never had that pull away, because I was gone so much, and you talk about, so my son is 5 years older than my daughter, and I'd stayed home with my son because I worked nights. So I raised, I was there every day. Same thing with my daughter. So then I started going, we started touring, um, so, and it's funny because, now at this age, I'll still get phone calls from my son about 3 or 4 times a week. And same thing, my daughter doesn't ring as much, but I'll get texts and I'll get, so I never had that. But again, this was a different Turbo with employees and a full-time band that doesn't get off your ass. That Turbo, can you, you got employee, you've got, you're, I mean, just, you're gone during the day. And there, and then when it's good, so yeah, you're going to get that because there is that. I don't want to say because it sounds bad, but I mean there is that kind of uniform, scheduled, disciplined life still. Even now you're going. Now you're touring with us, and you're going. We are. It's just a little bit more. You're just there. It's just a guarantee that you're going to be there. So there is that kind of falling away. And I remember we were in Ireland. I think it was about 4 tours ago. We were in Ireland, and a lifelong friend of mine, said to me that her daughter had pulled away, and she was in bit. I mean, just like Stacey's probably feeling right now. She was just, just devastated, beyond devastated. She was actually came to tears that night. She was telling me, and I said to her, it doesn't last long. I mean, it feels like an eternity right now. I'm in it. Seems like an eternity, but they end up turning. And I remember, and I emailed her months later after, obviously we were back in the States. And I emailed her. And I said, hey, how's everything going? And she said, what? I mean, I forgot it for a second. She had forgotten how. So as heartbreaking is, as soul crushing as it is right now, to even see that a minuscule part of that relationship drift. That's it. In the grand scheme of things, it's not long, but right now it's devastating. So you still have to to make sure that you're there for her, because it's the hardest on Stacey. Just
it's more like the public setting. Those are my mom and dad. Stay over there. It's more the public. At home, it's just hey, but it's like. So I told her on the way out, I go, this is probably the last year. Because he's getting ready to go to here they have middle school and junior high. They got like kind of 2 middle schools. Back when we went to school, it was just 1 junior high, but now he's going to the next school for 7th and 8th grade, and I go, yeah, there won't be too many events where we're coming, but not like the elementary school, middle school days are over. They're just.
Let me also, I mean, this is too late for this tip, but if there are any young parents out there with young kids, this is another trick that you do. You just make the most obscene, vile jokes that you can at an early age, and you basically you get them calloused and numb to your horrific humor, and by the time that they roll around to the kids, that they're already. That I wish I could say it on. I mean, I say anything I want on here, but I wish I could tell you some of the things that my daughter has said to me, and it's just, oh God, it does come back to bite you a little bit, but there's nothing more satisfying than grossing your kids out from, early, and having them have that, he's going to talk, so if you can do that, then you're already set, because as much as it appalls them, they're still drawn to it because they need that banter for, be it the schoolyard or the the after hours chit chat.
I love when she makes the not crude or kind of off color jokes, but then does it so calmly and then smiles. I'm just like, oh, you're next level. I'm sorry, you're next level. Oh man, like she'll do it. She'll do it when I see her, and I'm just like dying laughing, like, oh my gosh. And she's like, "What?" I'm just like, "I don't think you understand what you just did." Oh my gosh.
She knows. I
Oh yeah.
guarantee you, she knows. She is. Yeah, she is. She works at a level that that us mere mortals just won't ever get. And actually, yeah, and it's funny, uh, Chad works on a completely different level. Chad works on this dry Python-esque, uh, um, because you can always guarantee I'm going for the gutter. Always, you can always guarantee that uh, Chad's going to do the kind of slapstick, kind of airplane, uh, humor, and it's not, and I'm not lumping him into that category because it's never expected. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, that was good. That versus somebody else who I won't mention their name. You can always guarantee that it's going to be some fucking cartoon that just drives you up the wall. You're like,
So good. It's so good.
every time. It's like,
What's mine? What's mine? What's your view on mine?
I could, yeah. Yours is after the shriek, after yours is. You come at it from different directions, and you definitely have a. This is the thing I like about it. All of us, all four of us, when we're driving, we all work at a rapid pace. It's very, very rare that you have to stop and say, no, yeah, you missed that one. That was it. I mean, I don't, and I can't even think of it as, but yours is I don't want to say gentle because it's always funny, but it comes in, it's kind of like halfway between Chad's and mine. You've got that, there's some things that you say, and I was like, I think I've rubbed off on him because that was definitely off color. We need to set up a mic in the van. We need to have this stuff on record the whole time because we'll all be suing each other within a week. But yours is it's multi-directional. Mine's always just evil, low, dark. Chad's is slapstick, but yours is multi-directional. You can go low, but a lot of the times it seems like you censor yourself as you put it out there. Maybe that's owning a company. Maybe you're just in that. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
like having knowing the low road, but you still kind of just overshoot it a little bit, just so you don't discolor the. I know what I'm trying to say. I think I'm going way too far.
I think some of my favorite ones that you do are when I can see the setup and I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then you don't take the setup. You kind of wait a second and then you just throw this haymaker zinger out the other direction. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? And then it just goes like so dark. And you do it live. And I'm like, I look at Chad, I'm like, I can't breathe. Like I can't breathe. Like, wait, what song are we playing next? Like I've just lost it. Like it's just
there are some funny moments. There have been some funny moments recently where I've looked back at you when there's been some remark to see, because usually I look back at you and you're already doing this,
Yeah.
Sometimes like almost a minute afterwards you're still going, God.
Yeah.
But also I love to look out at the audience at those moments to see, okay, who caught that, and a lot of times there'll be some kind of people, even when they're listening, that it seems like it just sails past them. But we do have our loyal, very, very attentive friends who are out there, and they will catch every little joke. And those are the faces I'm looking for. Is that, you get that? Okay, cool. I love those moments.
My grandmother was going to be here tonight, but she picked up another shift at Hooters.
Oh, when they look at us, because they'll hear the joke, they get it. Then they look at us, and I'm going, oh, and they're looking at me like, what do I do? Like they don't know how to react. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Julia has said before that her gauge to see if it's a new joke, like if it's she'll look to see what my reaction is or your reaction to see, okay, was that, I guess trying to gauge like how old the joke is or if it's something new that we haven't heard before.
How's everybody feeling? You all right? That's a good looking crowd. I'm not just saying you're a good-looking crowd because we have been in Dallas recently. We don't want your sympathy. We don't want your sympathy. We just want tetanus shots, rabies shots, and some AIDS medication. And other than that, we're fine. But if you ever have a chance to go to Dallas, please go south. I promise you, there's a lot more down there, and the people are nicer. And if you do go, is anybody from Dallas? I should go. Is anybody here bigger than me that's from Dallas? I'll stop. Good. Fuck them. Anyway.
Yes. Well, I think we should put together a compilation of that, and then when you guys sue me for defamation or whatever it is, we just release it. But let me beeline here because I want to. I think we're clear. Maybe we may have to clip this. Maybe we won't. But I think we're clear to announce. I think this bus is done. October is done.
For the Ireland tour.
Yes. So SlapperCast, loyal listeners and beyond, I would like to say to you this. We have this year wrapped up. However, next year, we have a marker for next year. I'm going to say this to you now. If you've ever believed anything we've said, if you've ever wondered about traveling abroad with Blaggards on our worldwide tour of Ireland, I would say to you this. Do what you have to do right now to make sure you travel with us in 2026. That's all I can tell you right now. There's a marker put down. It's ambitious. It's historic, and it's going to be. I tell people this every time. They say, "Hey, I can't go this year. I want to go next year." Here every show, every single show, multiple times. I'm going to tell you this right now. Make 2026 your trip. This year too, we have stuff that's happening this year, 2025, that we haven't told you is going to happen. That's going to be cooler than fuck. I mean, it's going to be. Nobody else has done this. Well, we're doing it. So this year is going to be tremendous, no question. And it's kind of like we handpicked this year. It's just really anyway. But for 2026, I have to tell you this: the plan that we have for you to next year is going to be way above what we've ever attempted. So I would say to you this: if you ever wanted to travel with us, this is the time. So that's all I can tell you. I really want to tell you more, but I've just got to make sure that everything is in place for that. But do whatever you have to do. If you're a dentist, maybe you use a little bit more gas and you take their kidneys, and just whatever you have to do, just make it happen. If you're a bass player, maybe you snatch another purse, whatever it is, just make sure that you are ready to go, because it is going to be beyond excellent. So that's all I can tell you.
In case we do have to clip all that out, can we at least say big announcement coming for Ireland?
Oh yeah, no question. Question. Yeah, again, this just happened. This is episode 322. We didn't even know this in episode 321. The only thing we knew on 321, we knew that Molly's and Conroe was going to be fucking insane, and that happened, as you can tell.
This actual weekend, as you're watching this weekend, we're going to be back at Gracie's and Bastrop. And if you have not been to Gracie's, anybody who's seen us like at T-Bone Tom's and those types of shows that we do with this really good food and really great staff, and it's a just nice outdoor stage, you've got to come see us there. It's a very intimate experience too. It's not the biggest stage, but it's a very, very close, intimate experience. We love playing there, so I hope you come check us out.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, and they were off for a while, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to jump forward too. We mentioned this before we started recording, Patrick. You've got a rare solo gig. I think it's your first one this year, coming up in May 16th, in Bryan, in the basement level of the LaSalle Hotel, a place called the Boiler Room, where you've played there at least once before, I think, right?
Yeah, one time And it was a speakeasy. I don't know if they're still doing the speakeasy thing, but it's beautiful. We talked about the Blind Pig just outside of Dallas being a speakeasy and being a great bar. This is the same, and also like along the Reserve 101 downtown Houston kind of feel. They cocktail scientists, just amazing staff. And it's downtown Bryan, historic downtown Bryan, and it's beautiful. And our great friend Bill Allen, who all the bikers in South Texas know, they know intimately. I mean, they know him well. He's man. I'd love to have that guy on the show, but there's just not enough room. The guy is bigger than life. Tremendous talent. He's a biker first. Let's say husband, family man first. Biker, bass player, poet, comedian, just name it. Guy is brilliant. Bill Allen. Well, he's one of those guys that kind of spits out biblical style quotes, but they're all modern day and they're all poignant, and don't try to look away. He's throwing knowledge at you. Take it, ingest it, live it. He's a troubadour, trailblazer. Anyway, that's enough. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That's the acoustic thing has been, before we switched the cameras on today, we were talking about how it's been, the acoustic show is an art. It's completely different from an electric show. Just the performance aspect, obviously the sonic and the blah, 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 but playing an acoustic show is not just getting an acoustic guitar. And I'm just delighted to do it because I lose that. I lose that gear. I lose that skill. Because you just end up playing electric and playing in this band with this lineup right now is so easy because we've just been playing so much together. It's so easy to play, in this band that when you go acoustic, you have to start again. That's what I started to do. I've added a few new songs and a lot of new songs, but again, just to kind of get that side of your head working that you don't use in a rock and roll quartet. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But before all that, coming up right after Gracie's in Bastrop, our drummer and his wife are celebrating their anniversary, and they're taking off for a couple of weeks, well deserved. I can tell you the husband really doesn't pull his weight, but the wife, she deserves this, and we are huge fans. So on behalf of myself and all the SlapperCast and all Blaggard land, we congratulate you. This is I get to see behind the scenes too, and it's pretty amazing. So well done, and many, 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 many more, young fella.
Yeah, we're excited. We got our package in the mail, because we went with an agent for this whole trip, and I don't want to say that we went big, but we went big, and so we have somebody who kind of helps us through the whole process, and we got everything in yesterday. We're just like opening it all up last night. We didn't expect it last night. We opened it all up, and I'm like, oh my! She was just like, I mean, it was just. She's like, it's like next week, and I'm like, I know. So I just was like, so we're doing our final stuff. We're kind of halfway packed and ready to go, and just what we need. But like I said, it's gonna be one of those trips where it's like bathing suits the whole time. I mean, I'm like, I'm bringing a backpack. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah. You don't bring it. You don't bring it. Anything you need, you'll get. But also, let me say, as a gift to both of you, when you get back, I added another show. So you get off the plane, and we go to College Station,
Yep.
Band's Tap House. Then we go to,
I did at one point. I
Brenham.
Yes.
And then we go to Log On Cafe in Beaumont. You're welcome. So you're going to get off. I hope you don't get any rest. But when you get back, we're going to torch you. We've got 3 of some of our favorite places to go. So
I'll be ready. I scheduled a visit with my doctor to get all the vitamin recovery drips the day I get back. So we're literally landing, going there. I was like, I got shows next day. I gotta be ready. So I'm like, power me up. Let's go. And so we already scheduled it. I was like, let's go. When I saw College Station, I was like, oh, it's on. So
yeah, I'd like to say that we care, but obviously obviously throwing that much shit at you when you get, but no, but it's going to be tremendous, and it's so well deserved. The two of you work so hard, and it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's just it's a special bond. That's what people should aspire to, is yourself and Stacey. I think it's amazing. So yeah, let's leave it on an up note for a nice change. And but I again, from all of us, congratulations. And then working backwards, don't forget to check our schedule, and don't forget to get your passport and get ready, because this year's going to be tremendous. 2026 is I can't wait to announce that one. But the important thing right now is to make sure that you come see us at a show, and we're going to have a lot of really, really cool stuff coming down the pipe. So
one more quick thing. Sorry, positive note. The plankers. So I'm loving it. I just want to say I'm so stoked for all the plankers. I am going to do my 5-minute plank before I leave on this trip. So I'm a little over 4 minutes right now. I think I could do the 5, no problem. I'm just systematically doing it. But man, there's some people out there that are crushing it. So everyone who's doing it, nice work. So
yeah, that's been tremendous. I mean, I haven't seen. I'm not watching them, but they're yeah. I'm still. I don't know how many. I wish I'd kept a track of. Do we know when we started this thing?
it's a couple episodes ago. So I think maybe a month ago.
Is it really?
I think it was around
'cause
the Carbach show. I think
It was right before that, yeah.
right then, somewhere around then. But
okay, yeah. Because
I got people texting me their videos and stuff. I got all kinds of stuff that I even haven't shared with you guys yet. I'm like, man, this is so cool. It's like turned into this thing. I got all these little text groups of people sharing their numbers, and that's so cool. So
well, let's see. Let's keep it going, because this is. I mean, this has been amazing. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it helps. I mean, and to throw that into your schedule, and then next thing you know, you might be walking a couple of miles a day, or just take it. But it really is. It's just been been tremendous. So also, Kelly Navarro, we were talking about. I was talking about hair a couple of weeks back. She sent me she went from hair that was twice as long as mine to this short. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, wow. I said, what was that like? She said, it felt like my head was floating, like it was a balloon. It was really cool. You speaking of that, I completely forgot about that. So, but yeah, the blanket, man, that's going to be a whole nother section of this. So yeah, keep that shit going, man. We're delighted to have you all on board. I'm not going to start calling out names, but there's a few names that we are going to call in a couple of weeks if you don't start, because we want you in here as well. We need you. All right.
I just wanted to add, in regards to all show dates, but also any Ireland news. If you sign up for our mailing list, there is an option there. There's a little box you can check that if you only want to get Ireland updates, that's a good option. And if you don't want to, if you don't just want to get every single mailer we send out. And by the way, I don't send mailers out to everybody every time. I try to localize it. If we're only playing Houston area shows, I try to localize it to within a radius around Houston, that type of thing. So if you live in Omaha or whatever, you're not going to get inundated with, shows that are happening in Conroe or whatever, hopefully. But anyway, that Ireland only option is a really great way to keep up to date with anything we have to say regarding our Ireland tours. So you won't miss anything. Every time we have something big to announce, whether it's the next tour or some significant update about the tour that's already scheduled, it'll go out on that mailing list.
Yes, all good advice. All good advice. And as soon as Romeo gets back, we'll give you some dating tips and master dating tips, if you will. The other thing is our social media. We post daily on there too. So when something comes up too, if you don't even want to get on the mailer list, just stop by there. And the alerts on the social media is still like tits on a board, man. It's fucking useless. Don't even waste your time. Sign up to the mailer if you want current information, because the social media, you end up getting the announcement 4 days after we played it. So if you are coming in from out of town and you want to see us, our social media is not going to tell you. We'll tell you on there if you look for the latest posters or whatever that we're posting. But so blah, blah, blah. 2025 SlapperCast episode 322. Thank you for watching. We are so glad to have you along, and look forward to seeing you at a show ASAP.
Indeed. Thanks, y'all.
Cheers.
See you next week.
see you.